So I'm thinking this is the part where he speaks on how porn or whatever you want to call it is damaging to most men psychologically.
What is porn exactly? Like, describe how available is porn? What is it? I know what porn is, but like you said, it's a huge factor in the lives of young men and a bad factor. Why?
Well, this is another thing where it's reality distortion. That's kind of the theme. Just like psychedelics distort reality, just like a kind of internet society is a form of delusion, so is porn, in the sense that, a lot of people maybe don't realize, and we talked about this a little bit, people are getting turned on to porn when they're like, and when you are going through puberty, when you're developing your sexual faculties, how could you stay away from that? Every kid has a phone, every kid has an iPad, and every iPad and phone is, if you know what it is, loaded up with porn. And it's infinite, and it's ubiquitous, and you can get every kind of it you want, whenever you want. It's in your pocket. And so something that is almost never talked about is that this is a generation that's totally sexually dysfunctional, I think, because of pornography. And some people are able to cope with it. Some people don't have a problem. But I think a lot of people, and maybe even a small minority, have a serious problem with it. And
How does it make people sexually dysfunctional?
I think that it's impossible for a real woman to compete with the availability and the novelty of pornography.
I will say that too. Most women don't even look good with their clothes off, for goodness sakes. Let alone being able to give you that slurping, globbing, slippery, double stacking top that you're gooning to when you watch these videos. Most chicks don't even ooze like the women you see on the videos. So you're going to see your wildest dreams. You're going to see your wildest sexual fantasies when you watch capital P. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to run into a chick that's all in your face. You're not going to run into a chick that's oozing, cascading all over you IRL for the most part. A lot of women simply just can't do that. But when you could just go into a category and type in creamy blah, 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 creamy back shots, squirting this, squirting that, giant moth, crazy double stack top, so on and so forth, whatever the hell you guys look at, big booty Latinas, most of you never even palmed a big juicy booty in your hands. So the fact that you could watch it get backshotted, even though I do think that when you do watch capital P, I do think that there is a splash of zesty in there because you are watching. But most of you motherfuckers never even palmed a big juicy set of cheeks. Most of you guys, a lot of you never even palmed and sucked them. So the best bet is that fantasy.
A real woman, without getting graphic, she's only one person, and, maybe she wants to do something sexual, maybe she doesn't.
Exactly. And the thing about it too is the real women might not want to get as nasty as what you see on capital P. You might be a guy that likes to see apple juice, being littered all over somebody. In person, the woman might not want to litter apple juice all over you. You might see a woman that's going to get on her knees and be prepared to take hot ivory in the face. But when you're in your fornication session, the woman's not willing to drop to her knees and get hot ivory sprayed on her face, so on and so forth. So any fantasy you have, you're able to see that via XXX. But in person, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to run into chicks that are willing to get that damn nasty at all times. At least every chick that you interact with.
Porn is, you could have 100 different women in one sitting doing anything that whatever niche or idiosyncratic thing a person might be into, it's there. And so I think that novelty combined with that availability, it makes it so that, when you think about courting a woman, juice isn't worth the squeeze. And so there's also a problem of erectile dysfunction, people that can't enjoy regular sex because it does not compare to the intensity, the novelty, and the availability of porn. It's hyper stimulation.
That is true. Yeah, I do feel like when when you watch a lot of triple X, a lot of those things that you like, the average woman is not willing to perform. Or like I said earlier, a lot of what you like is not going to come out of a regular session because it's not a fantasy. Technically, porn is supposed to be a fantasy, and that's what you do when you are watching your goon footage. It's something that is being lived at in a fantasy. It's just you, your phone, your TV, whatever you watch your goon footage on. And you're literally trapped inside of a fantasy bubble. And then when you somebody regular, after watching so much triple X, woman drops her clothes, she's all extra saggy, boxy, hips warped. Might not look as sexy to you in that as that Latina with a fat, juicy booty, or that ice queen with just robust glutes, round glutes, perky pepperoni pizza. Yeah, for me, I always thought the real thing was better. What good is watching creamy back shots if I can't do it myself? For me, the real joy is getting your own goon footage. And if you are somebody that likes to goon, you're gooning to your footage. That's the real gem. What somebody else is doing. What about your own personal goon footage of your performance? That's the real gem of it all. You get to see yourself doing creamy back shots. Well, delivering creamy back shots. You get to see yourself being double stacked, yourself being cascaded on, so on and so forth. Step one, obtain footage. Yeah, most of these motherfuckers can't access that. That's the problem. Too afraid to ask. Just not available regardless of the fact. Yeah, for me, triple X doesn't do the job for me. Like I said, I got to a point in life where just watching triple X made me feel zesty in a sense. I'm watching the creamy back shots, but I'm like, damn, I'm actually watching this woman by another guy. So technically that's actually zesty. You can't be like, oh, move the dick out the way, I'm gonna leave pussy. Nah, that's not the way it works. It's actually still there. So yeah, I just personally I don't believe in the gooning shit or watching triple X videos. Like those days have been over. I feel like that shit is beneath me to pull out my phone and goon to some triple X. Like I'd rather just lay in bed and watch a sci-fi show, personally. Gooning keeps you less horny. So you're just laying in bed thinking about but you can't access the box.